This is Pharaoh's Visor of dsdatabase.org, and today was the release of Gateway Omega Private Beta, which is the private early release of Gateway 2.0. This highly anticipated update brings multi-ROM feature as well as support for the latest games for the Gateway cartridge. In this video, I'm just going to show you briefly what you can expect from this private beta, and I suppose what you can expect from Gateway 2.0. So when you download the package, the very first thing they suggest you to do is to redo the MSET exploit. This is the exploit that they use the blue cart for. Now, I've already done that, and if you own a gateway previously, it is no different from the one bundled with the 1.2 release or the 2.0 beta 1, beta 2 releases. So we're going to focus on what we can do with the red cart. What you have to do is simply replace the launcher on your SD card. This is the big SD card that's on the side of your 3DS that you can pull out right here. The files actually increase quite drastically. It's gone from about 1.5 megabytes to about 2.2. So something's definitely changed. Now if we turn on the Nintendo 3DS with the new launcher in place, and of course the exploit has to be installed already. Let's turn down the volume here. You can see that this still requires a 4.0 to 4.5 3DS to run. Now, just like before, we have to go into other settings, profile, and while holding the L button, that's this one over here, the L trigger button, we will boot up the Nintendo DS profile. And check it out, Gateway has a new logo at the top with their Omega release. There should be a new button down here. Diagnostics test, format EmuNAND. That's always a good idea to format and back up your system NAND. So I don't know if you can read the text down here, but it says backup system NAND. I've already done that, so I'm just going to skip straight through. But what I noticed down here is that there's also a button to back up 3DS game cartridges. So if you have official cartridges like these ones up here, you may want to back them up for your own purposes, for your own catalog. They will be slightly different from scene releases. Of course, we're probably more interested in actually booting into the gateway mode so that we can see. Now, what's interesting here is that Gateway has a new protection system. I'm not sure if they've removed the bricking, but down here you do require a gateway card to actually enter the mode. So I'm just gonna put my cartridge in. It says please insert the Gateway 3DS card and boot into Gateway mode. Press A to close this message. So we'll press A, and let's see if we can get back in there. You need to update this card to be able to enter Gateway mode. How do we do that? Well, once you click A, your Gateway 3DS card will now be updated. Do you want to continue? Do not power off, blah, blah, blah. Press start to update. I'm just cutting back in here. The video update took roughly, the update's still ongoing, but it's taking roughly a minute and a half, assuming this ends soon. So it's not the speediest process, but you're not going to have to set aside an hour to do the update either. And we're just waiting for it to complete right now, and it's complete. So we'll click A to exit, and we can finally boot into Gateway mode. So hopefully you can see that there's not a ton of bugs like in 2.0 beta 1. There wasn't the blue screen or the blotches. And that's strange. I was expecting that my gateway card would show up, but it isn't. So I'm just going to go back into the settings here. And go into other settings. I wonder what happened. Ironic that I just mentioned the bugs. Okay, so we'll power off the 3DS and turn it back on. And go through the setup, not the setup, but the exploit again. Bear with me here as it takes another couple seconds to boot up. Okay, so once again we're going into system settings. I have to stress again that this is only available for versions 4.0 to 4.5. Go into other settings, profile, holding L, we click the Nintendo DS profile. That brings us back into the gateway menu, and we're going to boot gateway mode. I've already prepared the micro SD card on my gateway. That's perhaps the reason why nothing is showing. There we go. You do have to select a game first before anything actually shows up. So, here we have Myst. You can see that the menu is quite quick. The names, it looks like it uses internal names. Everyone's curious about Pokemon, so let's try that first. Let's just launch software. And save data is being created. Now, if you look, it is getting further than if you're playing with 2.0 B1 or B2. So it definitely looks like it's working. I'm just going to do one other test on the camera here, and that is the eShop games. Now, unfortunately, you can't test the latest dumps of YouTube, Pokemon Bank, and so on because they aren't using the same format. However, there is Harmonite, which we can try. And as you can see, it doesn't appear to work. I do not believe that eShop releases work with this release yet. So, unfortunately, the 100% compatibility is in terms of actual cartridge games. So that's it for my quick demonstration of Gateway 2.0. The private beta release at least. Stay tuned, we have had this for a short while now, so I expect a full written review on DS Database within a day or two, possibly tonight. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment below and I'll get to it as soon as possible.